Okay, so regulators are, there's a lot of change happening in the industry, new services, new technology, and regulators are sitting there trying to work out, are consumers getting the benefits of competition? Are the networks that we want for the next 50 years being built? And so they're trying to strike a difficult balance. They're trying to say, do I have to act to do something about, high prices for calls to non-geographic numbers or roaming or something like that? Or is competition going to fix this for me? Or do should I inform people about what the problem is, or should I just basically sit on my hands and say, no, competition will sort it out eventually? This will come along, it will become an issue, consumers will get irate about it, and it will get fixed. So they have a difficult balance to strike. They're trying to say, should I tell people this is what the set of rules are, now go and compete? Or do I tinker? Do I change the rules? Do I say, this is unacceptable, I have to end this abuse of customers as I see it, and I have to actually decide it's a problem and set out to fix that problem? And so there's a sort of big picture thing that says, where do you intervene? And then there's a sort of micro level thing that says, exactly how do you choose to intervene? So you're a doctor, you're looking at the market as a patient, if you like, say what's wrong with the patient and what do I do about it? Do I just use, they're not called patients for nothing. Medical treatment used to involve waiting. The regulator is the doctor, and he's trying to say, well, do I do some kind of targeted intervention here or not, or do I just wait and see if it'll fix itself? And if I do a targeted intervention, what's the target I'm aiming for? What am I trying to do? And will it do what I want? Is it going to cause some kind of problem that I wasn't expecting? Because that's the worst outcome. You treat one set of symptoms and you cause a whole pile of other stuff. So that's the challenge, if you like. And specifically on trying to encourage investment, then regulators have a particular problem, which is they don't want to declare a regulatory holiday, if you like, and say, I'm not going to do anything for the next 10 years, because legally they find that very difficult to do. On the other hand, they do want people to have enough certainty that they're prepared to put their hands in their pockets and sink what are going to be billions of euros in new networks. Digging fibre to the cabinet, for the UK, that's about a £5 billion investment to do the whole of the UK. BT's already put up money to do about the first 2/3. So the state is going to assist with the remaining 1/3, something like that. But to do it everywhere would be a lot of money. But to do fibre to the building for the whole of the UK, that's another sort of 4 or 5 times as much. That's a sort of £25 billion number. And at that level, persuading somebody to invest that much money, that's a whole different kettle of fish. Regulators are concerned with many things, and we help with a subset of those things, probably. Historically, a lot of that is to do with understanding the costs of services and the right measure of cost, the costs you're concerned about for a particular regulatory intervention. So it might be, is this an abusive price because it's too high or too low? It might be, is the margin between these two prices the wrong margin? It might be saying, what is the price that is the fair price at which this service ought to be bought and sold in a competitive market? And historically, that's where a lot of our work has been, and it's to do with understanding the costs from the engineering side, knowing what it costs to build these networks and operate these networks, to get to those measures of cost. So choosing the right measure and coming up with a number, exactly how many euro cents per megabyte or whatever, what's the number. And then over a sort of a wider set of issues to do with what have other regulators chosen to do, what have they chosen not to do. So sort of regulatory benchmarking, understanding what the set of options are and what the pros and cons of those options. So that's probably the two largest areas.